Hi, everyone. Mary Ellen Vanakins, Sue Jennings, real estate ladies of North Atlanta. How are you, Sue? You're good?
I'm good. How are you, Mary
I'm
Ellen?
good. We're ready to rock and roll today. We're talking about the 7 reasons why you should get title insurance to protect your real estate. This is going to be a fun topic today. We're going to
Yes.
talk about a neighborhood called Medley in Johns Creek Center. And we're going to talk what we love about North Atlanta, the rich history in in Atlanta. And we're going to talk about our design tip of the day is layering textiles. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's dig into the Medley in Johns Creek. Tell us
Yeah.
about this.
So
It's really cool.
Medley is being built in the Johns Creek Town Center area, and it's Toro Development who's working on it, and they're hoping to duplicate the success of Avalon in Alpharetta. So anyway, Johns Creek is embarking on this exciting development, and as you can see in the pictures, it's a 192-acre project. It's going to be mixed use of residential, retail, dining, and office spaces. The retail shops, there's going to be a variety of different types of shops, variety of different restaurants and office spaces. But as the exact number of those establishments are still in the planning phases, so I couldn't really give you all of that.
Except look on the website here. What does it say?
I can't
200.
I
Can you
can't
see
read
it?
it on the screen.
All right, let me tell you. It says 200,000 square feet of retail, restaurant, and entertainment, 110,000 square foot of Class A office, 150 townhomes, and 750 luxury rental homes. How interesting is that?
Well, that's really interesting because that's their website. And yet, when I did the research on it, the numbers were slightly different, which is okay. It's still in the planning phases, but there's also going to be a large hotel there, which is going to create, a lot more space and bring people in as well.
I think it looks really cool. I think what's happening is it
Mhm.
looks a lot like Avalon, but what really got me is the numbers of the luxury rental apartments.
Right, right.
750. Wow.
Well, I was also trying to find out what the median sales price of those homes are going to be, whether they're townhouses or singles or whatever they are. But I can tell you that the median home sales price right now in Johns Creek is $700,000 as of December 2024.
Okay.
So that should give you some idea of where these properties are going to be priced, at least in the starting phases. Um, but this is really going to transform Johns Creek. Johns Creek has really needed something like this for a while, and this is going to be a landmark destination for the North Atlanta area.
Well, it's interesting too. If you look at the photo here, they're saying 150 townhomes. They're not saying any condos, but I feel like there's some great space that they could be putting condos up there too.
Yeah, the numbers I looked at said 133 townhomes for purchase and 340 apartments. Now, the 340 apartments is similar to what they did in Avalon, maybe a little bit less than
Yeah.
that, than what they did in Avalon, but these are all going to be luxury based.
Fantastic. Well, I love that.
Mhm.
Anything else you wanted to add on that? I think
No, I'm
we
so
kind of,
excited for
yeah,
this.
I am. I too. I think it's such a
I
great.
love to shop and I love to eat. So
There you
this
go.
is
Eating and shopping. There you go. Two my favorite things to do. Okay. So let's dig into what we're supposed to talk about today is the 7 reasons why you should get title insurance to protect your real estate. And I know that we have some really good stories about this to talk about today. So number one is to protect against ownership disputes.
Right, because purchasing a home is probably one of the largest investments you're ever going to make.
Sure.
It's one of the largest assets that you hold in your own personal financial portfolio. But, the only thing you never dream that you're going to purchase your luxury home and then find out that somebody else actually owns it. So,
Yeah.
title insurance will actually safeguard you against any past ownership disputes of the land or of the property. And that it'll protect your rights as the current owner.
And I
So,
know, wait, I just want to talk about in Georgia, we always 100% encourage our clients to get title
mhm.
insurance. I don't think I've ever had someone who did not get it. So,
I did once.
okay, well, there's always one rotten apple in the whole crowd or
You
whatever.
got it. Yep. Yep. I also have had stories, and this is true, where clients purchased the property and then 2 years later, looked it up in the property records and found out somebody else's name is suddenly on listed as the owner. So there's a perfect example where there was a clerical error and that title insurance was valuable, incredibly valuable. So always, always, always buy your title insurance. But reason number 2 shields you from fraud.
Yes.
Unfortunately, real estate fraud does happen. Forged documents, fraudulent deeds, impersonations can surface after you purchase the property. So that's number 2, why you need to buy title insurance. Number 3 is to cover clerical errors. We're all human, mistakes do happen. I know computers are more and more prevalent, but you still have somebody on the one end of it doing data entry. And so it can happen. Public records, legal documents, property descriptions, a small error can lead to a great big issue. So therefore, title insurance will protect you from that. Number 4 is it addresses unknown liens, things that you might not have known about that occurred from a previous owner to the property, such as unpaid debts.
Yeah. So tell us, give us an example of that, because maybe some of our viewers don't understand what that means.
Yeah. So if the previous homeowner didn't pay their taxes, didn't pay a contractor, that maybe worked on the roof, or had some dispute with their mortgage, that can result in a lien on your property. And none of us want to be responsible for somebody else's mistakes or debts. So the title insurance will ensure that you won't inherit these financial burdens.
Right. And usually an attorney, right, in the state of Georgia, when you're purchasing a property, they're going to run title to make sure there's no other liens. But you never know, clerical errors, right? Somebody could put a lien on your property and you don't even know about it. So
Right.
always be prepared and always protect yourself. So
Right. So reason number 5 is peace of mind from heirs claims. So if the previous homeowner's heir later claims that the property was sold improperly or without their knowledge, the title insurance will protect your ownership rights and provide the legal defense you need to resolve the matter. And I know of a particular situation where an heir that the family didn't even know existed did pop up and claimed, ownership of part of an estate, and it did affect the property. So this is reason number 5 why you need title insurance. Yeah, it's true.
Somebody can just pretend that they're part of a family and.
Yeah, well, this was an illegitimate daughter of a brother. So believe it or not, this woman claimed, that she had part ownership because her father, who was the brother, had passed away. And so anyway, it's a long story. But anyway, we can't make this stuff up, can we, Mary Ellen?
No, I mean, we definitely, and we want to ask our viewers, why would you get title insurance? Because of these crazy things. And title insurance only needs to be paid once.
Right.
It's not like something that you have to pay every year or anything like that. So it's always
right.
when you purchase the property.
That leads me to number 6. It's a one-time cost for lifetime protection. So, people will say, oh, title insurance is expensive. I'm going to closing. My costs, my funds are tight for closing costs. No. You still need to pay this. It's a small price to pay to, for such a significant long-term security on such a valuable asset. And number 7 is a reason that everybody needs to know: if you have a mortgage, your lender is going to require it. Right. So because the lender really has, a significant interest in your property, they've put the money out for you to be able to purchase the property, and you're repaying the lender. So therefore, the lender does require title. And that policy, though, will only protect the lender. That's a lender's title insurance policy. So you need to purchase an owner's title policy at closing so that you, as the homeowner, are protected.
Yeah, that's really important. And I think what's really important too is to realize that when you're purchasing a property, this is something the attorney gets for you, right? So they're going to give you, and it's not they make up the dollar figure. It's configured, and this is what it is, and there's no negotiating it. It is what it is.
Right.
Title insurance is what it is, right?
Right. So just to clear up, something, we have a lot of listeners that are not in the state of Georgia,
Right.
even though we're located
Yes.
in the metro Atlanta area. Just so you know, we do close with closing attorneys here as opposed to closing at a title insurance company. Other states, such as Pennsylvania, where I came from many years ago, we closed with a title insurance company. So we do it slightly differently here in Georgia, but it is still the same concept.
Right. Same protection, which is what you need. So
right.
Hopefully we gave you some great reasons why you should get title insurance, and let us know if has anyone here ever had an issue with title insurance? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. We always love to hear stuff. We should just write a book, Sue, I swear, because
nobody would believe it.
No one would believe half the stuff that we've seen, but we've seen all kinds of things. So anyway, so going on to there, we talked about title insurance, how important it is. An attorney gets it for you in the state of Georgia, and it's required if you have a lender, it's required to have as well. And let's go into what we love about North Atlanta, which is its rich history. So let's dig into that, Sue.
Right. So, who's watched The Walking Dead here? Has anybody watched The Walking Dead?
Me.
Well, a lot of The Walking Dead was filmed in Atlanta because Atlanta's got such a strong film production market here. But anyway, I learned something watching The Walking Dead, and that was that Atlanta used to be known as Terminus. It was founded in 1837 as the terminus of the Western and Atlantic Railroad, and it grew rapidly as a transportation hub for the railroad industry. So it was a strategic location in the Civil War, and it served as a vital supply and logistics center for the Confederacy. So it also made it a prominent target during Sherman's infamous march to the sea in 1864. And as a result, Atlanta basically was burned down. But anyway, in the early 20th century, it turned into a very thriving economic and cultural center. I think the Olympics of 1996 really was transformative for the city of Atlanta. And, there are incredible institutions that became beacons of the education world here, such as Morehouse College, Spelman College, and Georgia Tech. So Atlanta was known as a hub or a central point for the civil rights movement in the 1960s, the birthplace of Martin Luther King. It was also, as we just recently saw, Jimmy Carter's funeral. He was a past governor here and then went on to become president of the United States. So Atlanta's rich history blends seamlessly with its modern day vibrancy. The city has such historic neighborhoods such as Sweet Auburn, the Old Fourth Ward, Inman Park. These areas, these neighborhoods all offer a glimpse into Atlanta's past. And we also have rich museums and cultural institutions here to celebrate the past and the history and those who shaped Atlanta. So again, Atlanta's journey from a railroad terminus to a dynamic metropolis reflects the spirit of Atlanta's perseverance, diversity, and innovation that defines the city as to what it is today.
And just think like North Atlanta, all it was is just woods, right? It was just woods, right? And really the history comes to the city, but as you go north, it was just woods. And then it was just getting to the Appalachian Trail, right?
Right.
So can you imagine like in your like little wood wood wagon going down the street on Peachtree Street. That would be cool. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
I always say Atlanta was built in a forest, and
Yes.
we've got so many trees here. It's just amazing. And the individual cities such as Alpharetta do a wonderful job in protecting, trees in this area and making sure that, our cities stay very, very green.
Yeah. And hey, we want to ask our viewers, like, what's your favorite museum or what's your favorite area of history in the North Atlanta area? We'd love to hear in your comments. Let us know about that. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to our design tip of the day, which I don't know much. I mean, I do know about design, but Sue is our design guru. And we're going to talk about layering textiles today. So fire away, my friends.
Right. So we use textiles to create a warm and inviting atmosphere into our homes. You first start by knowing what your color palette is and your overall design feel that you're going for. And you opt for textiles that are all in that same palette, same hues, so that you are looking like you're working like a pro when you put this together.
Right.
You start with your foundation pieces, which are usually your most expensive pieces, such as your rug. Your rug usually is an investment that you make. Your curtains, your upholstered furniture, that's another investment. And you use those as your foundation, your staging for your home. And then you layer on top of that subtle patterns or textures. And when I talk about textures, I'm talking about things like velvets, or things like a linen would have a totally different texture. Something that's silky with like a slub yarn in it is a different texture. And if you blend these together, you can really create, a nice decor in a room. So you want your look to be comfortable, but perhaps luxurious. And you want it to also be approachable by your friends and family, but you want it most of all to be affordable. So think about adding in those chunky pillows, chunky blankets, just throws that you would put over the corner of a couch, maybe use when you're watching TV so that it's a practical piece. And also experiment with different patterns, balance your large prints with smaller prints and your subdued, designs with others, because you don't want it to look cluttered, but you do want to blend the sizes of your prints, because, you can pull different prints in different types of textiles, such as placemats, tablecloths, runners, your throw rugs, even wall hangings. So you want to tie it all together and pay attention to the little details too, such as the fringe or the tassel that's on the corner of a pillow, perhaps, embroidery that might be on a placemat. But if you thoughtfully layer your textiles, you can transform your space into a stylish and welcoming space.
That is so great information. Great information. I do have a question. What's the difference between people call curtains or drapes?
Well, years ago, drapes were generally lined. They were also, drapes are generally hung from like the ceiling or to the floor, where curtains are generally just like a valance or over part of the window. They're generally a lighter fabric. Curtains are really kind of out of style. Drapes are more the way that it goes.
Yeah.
I also want to point out one other pet peeve of mine, and I probably make this mistake even in my own speaking, but there's a difference between material and fabric.
Okay.
Material is something you build a house with. Fabric is something that is on your pillow, on your draperies, on your bedspread. That's fabric.
Okay. So we learned a lot today. What's the difference between a drape and a curtain? Layering textiles.
Material and fabric.
And material and fabric. So what great information we can have. So let us know if there's anything else you want us to talk about. Today, we talked about the 7 reasons why you should get title insurance to protect your real estate investment. The neighborhood we talked about is Medley in Johns Creek Center, which is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see that. And then we talked about the rich history of Atlanta. And we want to know what's your favorite museum or place in Atlanta. And then, of course, we had this great talk about design and talking about textiles. So thanks for listening to us, and let us know Follow us on social media. We'd love to see you, and we'd love your input on things you want to hear from us. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.